What do we think Kyle Shanahan's going to do? And actually, let me just ask the question directly. Do we think Kyle Shanahan's going to fall in love with Mac Jones and take him with the 12th pick? Why not?
He could. I can see it. I can see it. I know the comp is, Jimmy and everything with Mac. Like, I'm not high on Mac.
I've seen Kirk Cousins comp too because he's got the downfield throw.
I was going to throw out there. I think his ceiling is Kirk Cousins at his max.
Yes.
When you see now, like, I have to change my thought process, right? Because I wasn't big on Mac. But now if you're telling me that his ceiling could be Kirk Cousins, that is a viable starter in this league. That is somebody who's played very well the last 2 years, whether 49ers fans want to hear that or not. It's just the truth. The stats in the film line up, and it's been that way for a while. It's just that Kirk's a dork. Again, that's it. That's all you don't like about Kirk. So will Kyle Shanahan fall in love with Mac Jones? It's possible. I am afraid that he will. I'll be honest with you.
I think he will. That's my prediction.
Kyle doesn't want you off script. He wants you to make plays when things break down, but he doesn't want you off script. Mac Jones is going to be off script.
Right.
And
I think that's why he was actually, in my opinion, he was an upgrade over Tua at Alabama. Because what Alabama, they evolve. And for the last few years, they've been recruiting unreal wide receivers. And they don't really need a quarterback like Jalen Hurts or Tua to like hold the ball a while and then wait. They just need a guy like to drop back and let it rip. And what Mac Jones does is he throws the ball. He's decisive. He hits his back foot and lets it go. And he throws with anticipation. And his receivers are so great that it's definitely the right approach at Alabama. Only thing about him, I've been watching his film, and I actually like him more than I did watching him on TV. But he plays the game. He plays football in a rocking chair, if you know what I mean. He's chilling. Right. And when the pocket closes in, not when it collapses, but just when it closes in, I think he freaks out a little bit. He's like, I'm not used to this. This is like there's pressure. Like, no, that's not pressure. That's an NFL pocket. And sometimes, like when he has like a free rusher on a blitz, he's fine. He'll stand in there and take the hit. But just when things kind of close in, he's not used to it, and that scares me. Because, dude, you're coming to the Niners. Good. You're just going to be every play.
If he's drafted at 12, this fan base is going to rip itself apart, honestly, at this point. It's just – look, again, quarterbacks are historically overdrafted because they're quarterbacks. Now you toss in COVID and everything that's happened this year as far as scouting goes and everything, and now guys have to really make decisions based on their gut, and that's why you're going to see Mac Jones go very high. And whether he fulfills that or whether he doesn't. Because remember, it's one thing to say Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins, but he was drafted in the third round?
Fourth.
That's fine.
Fourth. Yep.
As a starting quarterback who's thrown for 4 bands the last 2 years and has played as well as he has, forget the contract, throw all that out. He's a 4th-round quarterback. Can't really ask more than that. Now, Mac Jones might be a victim of his own overdrafting. Remember, I don't kill Solomon Thomas for getting drafted at 3. He didn't draft himself there. But those expectations are still there. When you're drafted at 3, you need to be a blue chip player right off the bat. And that's the thing. And that's what Mac Jones will have to deal with if he's taking a 12.
See, to me, when what's going to happen is people are going to look at him and be like, look, here's what Saban's going to pitch him this way to Belichick. Look, man, he's a lot like he's Jimmy Garoppolo, but young Jimmy without the torn ACL and a deep ball. He's perfect for your offense. And I think Belichick's going to agree. And I think Kyle really sees himself as Belichick Jr. And if Belichick likes Mac Jones and would consider him at 14, then I think Kyle would consider him at 12. And here's the thing. If the Niners want to trade Jimmy G back to New England, they got to take Mac Jones or help someone else does, because if New England gets Mac Jones, there goes your market, right? It's gone. It's over. That's another reason to fear that this is going to happen.
This is like what's going on. Like the Watson thing has put the 49ers in a spot where it's like, now do you sit around and wait for Watson and hope that he comes loose, or do you wait for draft day and try to move up? Things are so fluid that if you wait, and the 49ers have done this, right? The waiting game. If you wait, the best laid plans of mice and men, it's usually not going to happen, especially with this crazy offseason that we're probably, in store for. Now that we found out that the floor of the salary cap is going to be what, 185?
Yeah.
So that's the floor. That means that teams are going to have to cut people. There's going to be a lot of movement. Like, this offseason is about to be insane. So the 49ers have to sit back and either play this methodically or wind up losing out on everything and then just running it back with Jimmy in a spot, whether that's what they really want to do or don't. That's still the most realistic option at this point, honestly. And that's tough to say out loud, but it is.
It's just so easy for Shanahan to do this. it's harder to trade Kittle for the number 3 pick and take a quarterback. That's a lot of pressure. That guy has to be good. It's easy for Shanahan to sit back in 12 and be like, I'm keeping the same team, blaming Jimmy Garoppolo for everything and bringing in another quarterback and telling him that, look, the offensive line really isn't that bad. Mike McGlinchey's good. I don't want to hear it. Don't believe what you hear on Twitter.
I got to throw those in there. See, the thing is this. Here's why I'm much more optimistic that it won't be Mac Jones. I really think that, because of the quarterback collective ties to Justin Fields and everything as well, that I think that Kyle knows that Justin Fields has the higher upside, than anybody. And I think that that's the only thing that's going to keep me from jumping off the bridge and thinking that he's going to fall in love with Mac Jones, because I think he's got enough time with Justin Fields that he understands that they're different, and they are. So, and I hope that's what it is.